So, welcome back to our EMC Weekly Agent Power Hour. Excited you're here. We're going to be talking about the step-by-step behind, listing promotion with Anthony LaBella. I'm Colby, joined always by my family here. We run Every Move Collective. I think my mom was on the call. I think she might have fallen off because she is in Paris at EXPCon right now. Lucky her. Um, but we run a bi-coastal top producing team out of Westchester County, New York, Connecticut, and Los Angeles. We also run Every Move Collective at EXP, which produces these weekly calls. We do these every Thursday, learning network community. These are for any and all agents, regardless of company or experience level. This is really about collaboration and coming together. We're so honored that our guests say yes to these calls, to opening their playbooks and sharing what works. Before we get into it, super excited to share with you that we are using School as our new community platform. So if you're interested in attending more of these calls, we strongly recommend that you join us on School. So let me just really quickly drop that into the chat here. This will be the best way to stay up to date on everything that we're doing week to week. Great place to exchange referrals with other agents. If you have a client who's moving out of state and you don't know an agent in that area, definitely post in this group. And if this a person in that market doesn't already exist in the group, we will connect you with someone. And just great for community asking questions when you're in need of guidance. So before we dive in, please drop your location in the chat so Anthony and Tony here can get a feel for who's in the room with us and where. If you're able to turn on your camera, we really encourage you and invite you to do so. If not, we understand. But during this convo, please feel free to jump in and ask questions. Use the chat. We want this to be conversational whenever possible. So we have a partnership rolled out with our friends Tony and Jake. They co-host these calls with us. They run Apex Agent, super dialed in on the digital marketing and AI landscape. And generally each week they jump on for about 5 to 10 minutes to share what's trending in AI and marketing so that our community can stay up to speed. And then we'll get into the step-by-step listing presentation with Anthony. So I'm going to hand it over to Tony first, and then we'll get going with Anthony LaBella.
Hey guys, so thank you so much for having me, Colby. I am super excited. I don't have a lot today. Typically, I have a big aha moment in AI, and I feel like this week I've taken a step back in AI and really dialed in on what's new and what's working. And I don't know if anybody's seen, but Codex. Has anybody ever heard of Codex before? Anybody ever heard of Codex? Has anybody ever heard of Claude Desktop or Claude Code? Okay. A lot of you have heard of Claude Desktop. A lot of you have heard of Claude Code. ChatGPT released a very similar version called Codex. So you could download it on their desktop. Now, Codex has been out for about, I don't know, 6 months, but they released a new version this past week that I am completely geeking out on right now. And I still haven't learned to the extent of it myself, but I will tell you it's a lot easier than Claude Code. It's it's more of a user-friendly interface that's more powerful. So just letting you all know that if you want to stay in the latest greatest in AI, download Claude Codex, or not Claude Codex, ChatGPT Codex, because it can literally build agents. It could literally answer your messages. There's so many things it could do, but definitely make sure you check it out. Next week, I hope to have a little bit better of a presentation because I'm just going through it now with you guys. But I just want to give a shout out to Codex. If you haven't tried it, check it out. Definitely check it out. So,
Just curious, Tony, how much time should people plan to budget to actually set that tool up so that it works for them?
um, well, because I'm a nerd with it, it's taken me 4 hours, but I want to know what every button does, right? If I just
Right.
take the easy route, 15 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's really quick. That's actually surprising to me.
Yeah, it's the user interface is so user friendly, anybody can do it. But I'm
More
going in the back
user-friendly
end
than
looking.
Claude's Cowork, you think?
Oh, 100%. 100% easier. Now, I haven't switched everything from Claude Code to Codex yet. In fact, I don't think I'm going to switch everything at least for another 2 months because you never just jump on the bandwagon of something that's brand new just because it looks really good, right?
Right.
My Claude Code is killer right now, so I'm not going to mess with it, but I'm leaning that way.
Okay. Does anyone already use Codex or Claude Cowork? Show of hands or chime in the chat. No, yeah, I haven't even personally gotten into it yet. Cowork is not something I have set up,
I've been trying,
despite,
but I open it up and I get overwhelmed because I use Claude almost every day, like regular Claude. But I'm
yeah.
like, oh, so I should go deeper. And then I try to go deeper, and like I said, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, all right, forget this, and I move on.
Yeah. Would it be valuable if we went through this with Tony in one of our next calls in the next couple weeks? Would people find that valuable, figuring out how to like really optimize and set this up?
I would personally, yeah.
Yeah, some
Do it.
yeses. Okay, so Tony, let's plan for that.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool.
So
Okay, well, if that's all you've got, then let's
that
dig in with Anthony. Yep. Thanks for being here, Tony. We appreciate
no
you.
problem. Thank you guys.
So Anthony, we are so honored to be in business with Anthony. Anthony, Anthony is one of the earliest colleagues that I became closely acquainted with when I got involved at EXP. And we've sat on live cold calling together. We see each other at tons of events. He lives locally to where my mom and brother run their team in New York. And so just really fun being in business with Anthony. I want to share a little bit about him. I'll hand over the mic. But prior to being in real estate, Anthony spent 20 years on Wall Street with, a degree in economics and finance. He pivoted into real estate in the last decade, and now he is a top 1% agent with eXp Realty in Long Island. He just ranked on Real Trends, and he served in a variety of leadership roles on the New York Agent Advisory Council. He serves as a certified mentor, and he is married and has two beautiful daughters, one of whom is on her way to Berkeley for her freshman year at the end of this summer. And just so excited for him and so grateful for him for coming onto this call to share with you what works for him in his listing promotions. And so I just want to dive right into it, hand over the mic to you, Anthony, and then let's get going.
All right. Thank you so much for the really kind words and introduction. Just firstly, thank you for inviting me. I mean, the level of value that your group puts out and all of the wonderful trainings and classes that you've done, either online or the events that you've thrown in person, have just been invaluable. They've been incredible. And so, like, when Colby and Eva asked me to do a presentation, it's like, absolutely, without hesitation, I agreed to do it. I'm happy to do it and happy to pay it forward a little bit. Um, you guys just run a great group of people, and I'm honored to be part of your group. It's really a pleasure, and it's so nice to see so many familiar faces in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Just a little bit of background about myself. Like Colby mentioned, I have an over 20 I had over 20 years on Wall Street as a trader. I was working in the last 5 or 6 years in the European markets, um, and the hours came a little tough, especially once the children came along. Getting up at 1:30 in the morning and coming home at 3 in the afternoon and having a 2 hour power nap just wasn't cutting it anymore, especially with two babies at home. So I switched gears, but it's really still the same thing. It's serving your clients at the very absolute highest level, meeting and exceeding their needs. And that translates whether it's on Wall Street, whether it's selling electronics, cars, real estate, whatever it is, it's providing a level of service far beyond what anyone else offers. So you can, maximize your business and get a flywheel of business going for yourself, regardless of industry or sector. So I'm going to just jump right into this if I can share my screen here. And I apologize if I'm looking away. I'm using two screens, so I'm going to use put my zoom off to the side. So if I'm not looking directly at the camera, I mean no offense by that. I'm just
We
using
won't
my,
hold it against you.
okay, thank you. All right, so let me get into this. All right, can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, as realtors, we all know that there's basically four different parts of our business that we work on every day. There's bringing in leads, your lead acquisition. Can you see my mouse moving around, by the way?
Yeah,
No,
I can. I can.
Yes, no? Okay.
no,
So there's
I
the,
can't see it.
Maybe not
okay,
on mobile, but I bet the desktops can.
okay. Not critical, but okay. So we have the lead acquisition stage of our business where we're getting in leads, our Zillows, our whatever, realtor.com, our, your paid ads, things like that, Facebook and Instagram ads, your social media, the people you meet in person. This is all lead acquisition, people coming in at the top of your funnel. Okay. And if you're doing Zillow or any other like paid lead ads, we all know it could get quite expensive. Postcards, direct mail, all of this. Okay. Then the next stage of that, we have our lead conversion. So then we take all those leads that we got and then we're going to convert them. Okay. Typically, a successful person in this industry will convert, at a high level of like 3 to 5%. A really good level is, 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2% lead conversion. And then once you actually have the business, then we're in the client fulfillment part. So you get the listing, and now you got to deliver on your promises. And what we want to do, and hopefully I can impart some of this, or you can build this into your system, is absolutely blow your clients away to the point where anytime they're at a conversation or thinking about anything real estate, they recommend you and only you to all of their friends and family and their and colleagues, and also use their listing as well to leverage that listing into more business, so you don't let other leads slip through the cracks. And then, of course, after you do the job for them and get that listing sold for the highest amount of money and the least amount of stress and hassle, then you're going to go into client care mode and nurture those people after they sold their house, and to wherever they went, so that you're always in front of them. And I'm sure we've all heard the statistic that like 70% of agents said in a survey from NAR that they would use their previous realtor, except like only a very small percentage do, because the realtors, us as realtors, drop the ball in terms of following up and staying in touch with past clients. And one of the things I would like to work on getting rid of in this industry is calling people past clients. Like, I hate that term. These are our clients. You never talk to an attorney, you never speak to a doctor, and you'll never hear any one of them say past clients. They'll just say, these are my clients, and treat them as such. Technically, they're not, because they don't have a written agreement with you, but I think you understand what I mean. Treat them as if they are your clients for life and act accordingly. So I just wanted to just throw that out there. And when you do a great job on the last two parts, the client fulfillment part and the client care part, that all circles back to this diagram here, but you cut in the line and go straight to the client fulfillment part. You don't have to spend money on the lead acquisition part anymore, or as much money on the lead acquisition part anymore. You certainly don't have to do as much in the lead conversion bucket, because they're already converted for you, because Eva or Colby said, call Anthony, don't call anyone else. Don't waste your time. Just call Anthony, call Jackie, call Jenny. They're amazing. Just sell your house with them and call it a day. So you don't have to do the lead acquisition part. You don't have to do the lead conversion part. You're already cut to the front of the line and you get right to client fulfillment. So we want to turn this into a flywheel for our business that just keeps spinning off more listings and more listings from referrals. And okay, so you don't have to, you can take your budget of whatever you spend in your lead acquisition and move that down.
Anthony, I was going to throw in there a term that I like is preferred clients. Somebody
Yeah.
that's a client that you've worked with in the past, if you refer to
Mm.
them, these are my preferred clients. You're
Yeah.
not saying that to the clients that aren't preferred, but you know what I'm saying. It's just
Sure.
giving them up. You're bringing them up a notch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so I built a system because I've always been I've always been someone who's easily distracted. And as realtors, we're all distracted. The phone's ringing, we're putting out fires, we're trying to get a listing at the same time we're trying to close a listing, we're trying to, schedule showings and all of this. We're all doing a lot, we're all multitasking all day. So what the last thing you want to do is wing it when you actually get the listing. Once you actually get the listing, we want to set up a checklist or a system so that you can predictably go through a list of things that must be done to your preference, but a list of things that must be done. So if you do get sidetracked or you have to jump on a phone call or run out the door for whatever, you can come back and see where you left off and keep going down from there. And I've always had to do this. I have a to-do list that I make every morning, and I have this checklist for once I have a listing. Um, in order to stay on track and deliver consistent, high quality service. And so, some examples that I wanted to share where this is also done is in the airline industry. Would you get on a plane, ladies and gentlemen? Would you get on a plane to your destination where the pilot just says, "Yeah, I'll take you to LA. I'm just going to take off and fly around and point the nose west and call it a day"? Right? That's ridiculous. They have a set of standard procedures and checklists that they all go through. If you look right here on the right of this screen, this is a landing checklist for landing at JFK Airport here in New York for runway 13 left. Okay? It's called 13, by the way, just useless trivia. Runway numbers are not numbers like 13 doesn't mean it's the 13th runway at the airport. 13 is actually the compass heading, 130 degrees on a compass. But anyway, I digress. But just some useless trivia for everybody. But anyway, right here, this is done the same way every time when a plane is landing at any airport. So if you look here, at 2 miles out, you have to be at 2,100 feet in altitude. All right. Here you have to be at 1,500 feet. At zero point 0.9 miles out, you're at 680 feet, and so on and so on. And every single plane lands the exact same way on runway 13. Okay. So we want to build the same predictable system for ourselves in our real estate business. Same thing here at McDonald's. Why do we think that if you order a Big Mac or a quarter pounder in New York, it tastes exactly the same as if you order the same thing in Michigan or California? Because do you think that the cook just wings it and flips the burger over on the grill whenever they feel like it? No, it's timed. Everything is systemized. Everything is on a timer. And this way you get consistent quality every time around. I think you'll get the point, so I'm not going to hang on to this. I used to go to the gym at other gyms, and I would like quickly get bored because I would, do the same workout I was doing from when I was in college, get bored after a few months and quit. And then I found CrossFit gyms. And the reason that I love CrossFit gyms is because the workout every day is all written out for you. You don't have to think about it. So you're not walking into the gym going, maybe I'll do a little treadmill, maybe I'll do some biceps, maybe I'll do some back, and you get distracted, you start playing on your phone, and then you leave and really don't get that much done. The reason I love this is because, again, it's a system, it's all laid out. You're going to walk in, and this is the workout for today. You don't have to think about it. And plus, as realtors, we're thinking about many different things too much. There's one less thing you want to have to think about, but it's all mapped out. We're going to do pull-ups. We're going to do box jumps. Excuse me. We're going to, do push-ups. Then we're going to do 23 calories on the bike, as many rounds as possible for 20 minutes. And that's the workout. Okay. So you want to build the same level of predictability and consistency in your listing system as you do with the way all these other industries do it. So now we'll get into that. So you have the listing. What are you going to do? How am I doing on time? It's 12:20. Okay.
You're doing great.
All right. So here's my checklist. Now, of course, you could do whatever you want, modify it, steal it. I'm going to have a link at the end of this so you don't have to write it all down or screenshot it. I'll have a link with this whole slide deck.
This
for
also
you to
will
keep.
end up on YouTube too.
Yeah, yeah, and Colby and Eva will put it on their YouTube as well. But this is my checklist for when I have a listing, so then I can go down. You can put this in, like, let's say an Excel sheet or a Google Sheets or whatever, and you have your list of things that you're going to do, and then on the right you can have a little drop-down menu, whether it's done or not done, and then you just go down the list. So this way you don't have to stress out about it when you have a listing, or if you have multiple listings. And we're, these a lot of top agents on this call, so I'm sure you have multiple listings. It's just a way to organize it so you can get through your list and do everything to a high quality level. So the first thing that I do when I have a listing before it goes live, okay, and I'm not going to get into the whole coming soon part. We're just going to go from just listed and onwards. Okay, and of course you could build your own process for if you're going to do a coming soon status. But you're going to gather a list of local agents for a number of reasons. So right here, for example, I have a listing in Massapequa. So what I did is I ran a query in my MLS. I use Matrix. I'm sure you could probably do it in whatever MLS you use. But I gather a list of all the agents in this zip code. So as you can see here, 11758, and all the sales from January 1 to July till today, July 16. I take the top 25, but actually this report is 3 pages. It's like the top 50 that I downloaded, or top 30, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're then going to go and get these people's phone numbers and email addresses for two purposes. You're going to, one, call them and tell them about your listing, because we all have ADD and we're all very busy realtors, so they don't always check their MLS. You wouldn't believe the number of realtors that don't check their MLS every day, or every morning. So you want to call these people, you want to email these people with your listing, invite them to open houses if you're going to do one, but also you want to put them in a retargeting campaign. And what a retargeting campaign is, in Instagram and Facebook, you can run an ad for very cheap. And I'm sure Tony can get into that as well. You can run an ad for very cheap that goes to just your list of people, so they see it on their phone and on their Facebook, on their Instagram and their Facebook constantly for however long you want to. So you want to grab all this data of all the local agents, so they're going to see your listing in their face all the time. The next thing you're going to do before you launch your listing is you're going to gather your list of neighbors around the listing. And I'm just going to go here, and can you guys see my Remind screen?
Yep, we can.
Okay. So
Can you maybe,
my,
just for some of the newer agents on here, can you just
yeah.
describe what Remind's purpose and
I apologize.
case?
Yes. So Remind should come, it comes with your MLS subscription in a lot of areas. It does with mine. Or if it does not, you can subscribe to a service like Remind or Vulcan 7 or Espresso Agent or Mojo, where you can download Circle prospect data or expired data or FISBO data. A lot of them will allow you to have a service like this where you can trace over a certain area that you're interested in to get names, phone numbers, emails, and addresses. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to send out postcards. So I like to go out and, get like a few block radius. So my listing is here, and I'll just go like a few blocks to get like every single house within 2 or 3 blocks. Okay. But what I also like to do is send out postcards to the general area to give people proof of concept that I have a listing here. I clearly want a listing. So if someone's thinking about selling, they would hopefully call an agent that knows what they're doing and is already doing business, right? But if you look here on the top right, there's 3,000 results. Postcards are not cheap, as we all know. And unless you have the budget for like EDDM, which is like a whole postal route, or if you have the budget to mail to 3,000 people around this house, I mean, that's great. Not a lot of people do. So I like to then dial it down. So I'll send a postcard to everyone within a few blocks of that house, every single house. But as I go wider, I will narrow that down. But first, right here, this whole diagram that I drew out is 3,055 results if you look here on the top right. I'm going to download that list as well, 3,000 neighbors. And I'm going to add that to my list along with the realtors for retargeting ads. So now they're going to see my house listed in their face every day for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
And how many postcards are you typically sending per listing?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to show you. So I'm not sending out $3,000. That would be really expensive. 3,000 postcards because that would be like 3,200 bucks a pop, right? For just listed, then 3,000 again for pending, and then it's sold. So I'm going to show you how I narrow it down. So number one, this 3,055 results, if you just watch this number here, certainly we want to send postcards to people that already have their house listed? Absolutely not. So I'm going to go to my filter and go select off market. Okay, that's going to drop it down to 3,023. Then we know the latest NAR stat is that people typically own their home or stay in their home. Used to be 7 years on average, now it's 10. So now I want to see, let me just see people who've been living their house a minimum of 10 years. So let's apply that. Now we drop down to 1,689. Now I want to see homes that are owner occupied. Let's apply that. Now we're at 1,585. I'm going to select single family homes to get rid of condos. And then because we're spending a lot of money on postcards, I want to see, let's say, for example, let's do only homes that are minimum of, I don't know, 900,000. And of course, you're going to use the prices in your area. We're going to hit apply. Boom, 340 results. That list you're going to download with the names and addresses, and you're going to upload that to your postcard company, whichever one you use. I use Mailbox Power, but you can use any mailbox direct mail company that you want. So that's how I get my addresses, and then I'll use that for just listed, under contract, and just sold. Okay, so now let's get back to my checklist. Okay,
Something that
so
I did recently on postcards, I just want to share. I'm seeing if I have it right here. Was because like I always get so much spam promo mail, and
yeah,
I didn't want to contribute to that. So I created an AI generated image. Oh, wait. Let me come off of Blur. I created an AI generated image of the neighborhood in which I was selling the house because I thought at the very least people are going to think that this is pretty. It's going to feel familiar. And then it was a very personal note on the back. So
that's great.
just an idea if you want to do something a little off the beaten path and not templated.
Yeah, that's great. So, so then we're going to go down the checklist. So now we've gathered a list of neighbors. So now I'm going to go over here and click that to done. Then we're going to mail our just listed postcards all out. Then we're going to click that to done. Then we're going to do our just listed post on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube. Then you're going to click that to done. Then we're going to take that list of local agents that do business in your area. You're going to make sure you email your listing to all of them. Make sure it's in their mailbox. And then you're also going to call them. You change that to done. Okay, you're going to email the 3,000 people because email is free. You can email that list of 3,000 people, but you're also going to upload that list as a custom audience in Facebook and Instagram. If you don't know how to do that, just go on YouTube, type in how to create a custom audience in Facebook, or call me after this, or shoot me an email. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. And then you're also going to email your just listed notice to all the local residents and the local agents. And then you're going to create and publish your YouTube video. So you're going to want to make a YouTube video. There are some services that do it. If you don't know how to do it, again, contact me. But you can basically just take a collage of pictures, even in CapCut, really quick, the free version of CapCut, throw some music on it, put a little banner on the bottom with your face, your name, and phone number, and make that a video and upload it to YouTube. Create a YouTube channel and upload that. Then you're going to want to run a YouTube ad. So let me just show you that. Let me back that out. And I'm going to go here to YouTube. Can you guys see this, my YouTube screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go Your videos. Okay. Okay. So now, let's say I want to run an ad. You're going to find your video, and all you got to do here is click promote. Now, I didn't get to Facebook and Instagram yet, but Facebook and Instagram have a restriction for housing ads, and that's a 15-mile radius. Okay. So you may have a listing in an area where 5 miles out or 10 miles out, like it's completely irrelevant. But YouTube does not have that. So you can take your video and run an ad in the specific areas you want. You can't use zip codes, but you can use the town name, which is strange, but whatever. You just got to work with it the way they set it up. So you can do audience growth to build your subscriber count, video views, or website visits. So if you have a custom website for your listing, you could select either one. I'll do video views, hit next. You're going to see where it appears. YouTube Shorts. This is not an EU political ad. Okay, it's 12:33. I got some time. Okay. And then you just put in your budget, $200, $100. You put an end date. It'll tell you how many views you're estimated to get for your listing and how many impressions. Okay. So one, you're promoting your listing. But number two, when you walk into your next listing appointment from either someone that was recommended to you or a lead you got from your lead generation funnel at your top of the funnel, when you're walking into a listing presentation, you're going to go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this agent here, their video got 5 views on YouTube. And you're going to then show them this video from this listing and say, hey, as opposed to mine, 73,000 impressions and 33,000 views. I am everywhere. When I list your home, there isn't going to be a soul on planet Earth that has not seen your listing. So you're going to use it to, one, attract buyers for your actual listing, but you can also use these statistics at your next listing presentation to boost your chances of getting that listing. Because people always say, people say, oh, all realtors are the same, realtors don't do anything, blah, 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 blah. Well, now we're going to show them what we do. So that's that, and you're going to hit promote. Okay, let me go back to my presentation. So that's your YouTube ad. You're going to do the same thing with your walkthrough video. So when you do your photography, you're going to shoot like an Instagram reel, and you can also promote that on YouTube as well. Okay. Post your listing. I have EXP Hub, whatever brokerage you're with. If you have an internal like communication method to share your listings with the other agents at your company, post it in there. Okay. And then you're going to want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram. So let me just show you that.
Anthony, you were
So
the first person who taught me how to advertise on Facebook and Instagram.
has it been a success? Say yes.
Yeah, you know what? There's probably some people on this call today that are here because they saw an ad for this call. So
Okay,
meta
awesome.
ads are effective.
They're great.
Yeah.
So I use a program called Listings to Leads. The reason I use Listings to Leads, because I used to just run my ads straight out of the back end of Facebook. They're called their listing manager or ad manager, ad manager center or whatever. But it's really frustrating. We're busy realtors, and they kept changing the back end, the ad manager platform at Facebook, which owns Instagram, by the way. They kept every time I went in there, every few months, it all changed, and I just got tired of it. This platform here, Listings to Leads, it's very simple. They have it dialed in with their algorithms, and I run my ads for my listing straight out of here, and it's like set it and forget it. It's like 5 clicks and you're done. Okay, so for example, this one here for my last listing in Great Neck, I ran a $50 ad. I got 2,500 impressions. Uh, my reach of 1,600 people. So there were a lot of people that saw it twice. Okay, and I got 18 leads off of it for a cost of $2.70 a lead. Okay, so we're using this to, one, those 18 people, I'm calling them up to see if they're interested in this listing. And if they're not interested in this listing, find out what they are interested in. And then there you go. You have buyer leads that you can hand off to your teammates, buyer leads that you may want to work for yourself. You get the idea.
I'm
Okay, at
curious,
two
show of
set.
hands or like in the chat, who is running ads for their listings already? This is something that Christine, I saw you raise your hand. Anyone else? No, so this is new. Cool.
Yeah. And one tip I want to show you, when you are going to run a Facebook and Instagram ad, like I said, Instagram and Facebook only allow you to advertise unless it's a custom audience, which I went over before. They only allow you to advertise that listing within a 15-mile radius of your listing. So one thing I just want to show you, here's my listing here in Massapequa on the map. Can you guys see my Google Maps?
Yes.
Okay. So here I drew a line out. If you right click, you can hit measure distance, or now like I made a measurement. So I did clear measurement. It shows clear measurement, but that's how you do measurements. So here I drew out 15 miles from my listing this way to the east. But I know what I know about my market. Uh, what I know about my market is that people from out in Suffolk County don't typically move to Massapequa, New York. Most of the people that move to Massapequa, New York come from over here in Queens. Okay. Now, even though my 15-mile radius will reach Queens, I don't need to waste half of my radius to the east on Suffolk County because I know those people don't care about it for the most part, right? So what I'll do is when you go to your ad and they'll say, where do you want your listing advertising to start from? I'm not going to click Massapequa. I'm going to click somewhere in the middle to maximize all of this to the west, which is where most of the people migrate from that move to Massapequa. So I'm going to put in Elmont as my city when they ask you to select a city on the Facebook ad. So I just wanted to share that with you so you're not wasting your ad dollars and you're targeting the most likely people to move to that single neighborhood. And all of you, I'm sure, know your general areas where you operate and who moves where. And then you just want to tailor your distance, that 15 miles, at least to maximize it for your listing.
That's a
Okay.
great tip. Did we have Christina, did you have a question?
Me?
I don't know if you were
No.
right. No, not Christine. Christina Neely has her hand raised. I just wasn't sure if that was in response to yes, I do ads, or if you had a question. It's down. Okay.
Oh man, it's 12:40. Okay, I better speed this up. All
Okay.
right. You're then gonna, so you're advertising your listing on Facebook and Instagram. Then you're gonna post your listing on Facebook Marketplace, and you're gonna have a link to your custom website or to one of the public websites, not Zillow. Do not use Zillow. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. You're also gonna want to post your listing on Google My Business. Now, Tony was talking about AI before. You have to be found on Google's, you want to be found, you want to have your listings SEO optimized and also AEO optimized for answer engine optimization for you want the AI chatbots to scrape your listing and find you. Well, Gemini is owned by Google, and Google owns YouTube. So, and obviously Google My Business. So you have a Google business page. You want to post your listing there. And when you make a YouTube video, you want to make sure it's there as well. You want to have that YouTube video, even if nobody sees it, when people search on AI, especially Gemini, they're going to show you that your YouTube video. Okay. Then when you're going to do an open house, you want to post events. You want to create public events in the area. So you want to post that event in Facebook. You're going to create the event in Facebook. You also can create events on Google My Business. Also, Google will push you up higher in the rankings the more you update your Google business page. So you want to put all your listings in your Google My Business page profile. All your just listed, just under contract, just sold, open house, all your events. You set them up as events and also
We have a,
Facebook groups.
we have a question. Was that Jill? Do you have a question specific to something he's going
Sure.
over right now?
Yeah, yes, I do. So I do use Google My Business a lot. I do post I post updates weekly, but I don't know how do you post a listing on Google My Business?
Um,
Because if you put your name and if you put an image up and you put your name and your information on, they'll
right.
bounce
Like you'll take your
your
graphic or you create an event, like you'll take your graphic that you created for Instagram and then you upload that as an update. Google Business will just ask for an update post. So you just put that picture in there and it'll say just listed. And then you can even put a link and just route that to your listing. So they'll land on your listing landing page.
Thank you.
But you can contact me after. I just don't want to, we're running out of time. I just want to blast through this. But
Apologize.
certainly
Thank
feel
you.
free. I'm going to share my information after. So contact me after. I'll be happy to walk you through it. Okay. So then you're going to post in all the Facebook groups. So if you have a listing in whatever, White Plains, right? You're going to go on Facebook and you're going to find all the groups. Westchester Real Estate, White Plains Houses for Sale, White Plains Moms and Dads, White Plains this and that. Just search for White Plains and join every group and then put that listing out there. Okay. And either with a link with your description and pictures, with a link to your custom website if you have one, or to a public domain, which then gets me to my last one. You want to give a social media post to your seller for them to post on their Facebook and Instagram to share your post. When you share your post and then they share it with their friends and family, guess who lands in your real estate web? Or everyone that they know. Because then you can retarget all those people on Facebook and Instagram, and you can tell Facebook and Instagram, hey, show this to everyone who's clicked on my Facebook or Instagram profile in the last 90 days. And then from then on, you will have their information captured and they're going to see everything that you do. And of course, they are friends with your seller, increasing the likelihood that you're going to do business with all of those people as well. Okay. And you're going to give them either your custom website link that goes to your CRM, or you're going to give them a link to a public domain site. You're not going to give them Zillow. I see time and time again, but you know what? Let them do it because that's our competition. They put Zillow links all over Facebook or send it to their clients. But what happens when they see that? They click, oh, speak to an agent, and it goes to someone else. Give them the homes.com link. The homes.com link only shows you, the listing agent. So you'll have many more opportunities to get both sides of the deal if that's what you do. Okay. So, and now you're going to use this same checklist for your pending and just sold. Okay. And obviously there are things in here that you're not going to do for just listed, but you're going to run YouTube ads and Instagram ads, and you're going to do it for under contract and just sold. Same thing. And one thing I want to show you about homes.com, if you are a subscriber, once you sell something, when you have a listing, homes.com will show you where they're getting all their hits from, which is one thing that I love. So for this listing I had in Massapequa, you could see I had most of my listings here, close to Massapequa, 1297 and 1431. But guess what? Look over here in Manhattan, 3,200 hits in the homes.com. So where am I going to run my ads? Out here in Port Jefferson with 7 hits? No, I'm going to run my ad all here in Nassau County and in Manhattan. Okay, so use this data to your advantage. Okay. All right. 12:45. Let me keep moving on here. Okay.
You want to go full screen on this?
Oh, sorry.
All good. Just easier for us to see.
Okay. I'm going to blast through this. I'm going to share these slides, and of course, call me if you want to get more in depth later. I'm going to blast through this because we're running out of time. Before your open house, you're going to door knock everyone in the neighborhood. You're going to bring a flyer with you. So you're not just like, hi, look at me, I'm a real estate agent, and get the door slammed on you. You're going to bring a flyer with an invite, and you're going to just say something along the lines of, hey, I'm doing an open house Saturday. If any cars block your driveway, we expect it to be super busy. Give me a shout. My information's on the bottom. That's it. And walk away. Okay. You're going to invite them all. I don't subscribe to this idea of doing open houses where you have like a private open house for the neighbors only. You want it to be packed because the real buyers that are at your open house, they don't know that the other people in the living room are the neighbors next door. They think they're other buyers. And what does that do? That creates a sense of urgency, and therefore they give you higher offers. They say, oh crap, this is really busy. We better step up to the plate and put in a high offer. You're going to call your database, your top 50 leads. You're going to obviously prepare all of your materials beforehand so you're not scrambling at the last minute right before your open house starts. You're going to prepare your buyer and seller market guide flyers that you're going to put out throughout your entire open house, which look like this. Someone signs into your open house, you're getting their information, and you're not going to say, okay, well, here's the MLS sheet or the property. You're going to ask them, do you have a house to sell, or are you just buying? And based on whatever their answers are, let me get rid of this. You're going to hand them the appropriate flyer, which has a QR code to your things, to your buyer book, 6 things to check before buying a home, with all of your information on it. Scan this QR code if they have a home to sell, how to sell a home in a changing market. Your 100-point marketing plan with a QR code, or whatever you create in Canva or whatever you have set up. Have flyers to hand out so those people don't just come in and walk out the door and they're gone forever. You can stay in touch with them. Okay, so that's that. Obviously, open house flags, balloons, whatever accessories you use to, sorry, whatever accessories you use for your open houses, make sure you have that all set up, preparing your music, candles, food and drinks, have that all dialed in. Don't show up last minute. You show up an hour or hour and a half early for your open house, and memorize the details and your scripts for the house. The worst thing, and the most nosy neighbors, they're not nosy neighbors. They're interviewing you, guys. They're interviewing you for when they want to list their house. Okay? So when they start asking you questions, you can't be like, oh, well, I'll get back to you. Oh, is there hardwood under the carpets? Oh, I don't know. No, that's not how we operate. You have to know every single detail about the house. Okay? So when you're Johnny on the spot with the info, they remember that for when they want to go sell their house. Set up your signs. Don't set them up last minute. Go 3 hours before. The weekend is your perfect opportunity to have your name plastered all over the neighborhood for the entire weekend. Don't even take them down after the open house. Get the cheap clapboard one, not cheap. You want them to look nice. Leave them up all weekend. Don't take them down until Sunday afternoon. All right. And then what you're going to want to do is have email and text follow-ups and video follow-ups for everyone that you meet at the open house, because nobody really likes emails and text message, just emails. Most of it goes to spam. Also, on your sign, you want to have a flyer with a QR code or a custom text code. You can look up how to do that in the CRMs that you use. So when people are driving by the house, they can text 230-998 to this number, and that's going to take them directly to your website and have them register as a lead for you. So there's more leads or a QR code. Also, if you look here, you get a little flyer box. You could get them on, we use Build-A-Sign or whatever company you use for your signs, a little flyer box, and it says take one, and it has a flyer. People are walking their dog, walking by, whatever. They're going to take a flyer and have the info from you there. Then you can set up a text and email campaign. This goes out for 180 days, but the screen would only allow me up to 30 days. And they're going to get text messages, emails, hour 4 text message, day 1 email, day 2 they're going to get a phone call, day 3 email, and so on and so on and so on. So follow up with everyone who came through your open house. Okay. Plus, you want to send a personal video text. Okay. Hey, John, it was really great meeting you at my open house at 123 Main Street. If you have any questions, give me a call. I really look forward to helping you in your home search, blah, 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 blah. People love video rather than just what sound, especially with AI, nobody knows what's real anymore. Putting a face on there, putting yourself and showing your emotion, I think goes much further than just a canned text. I use Mailbox Power. Of course, you can use any postcard company you want. The reason I use Mailbox Power is you can set up a postcard campaign as well. As soon as they go out to people that you want to send postcards to from your open house, you can set it up. This goes out immediately after when you meet them. The next card goes out 14 days, 21 days after that, 30 days after that, on and on and on and on and on. So you're putting them into your machine. And over time, it builds into this massive snowball, and then you're generating listings. Then the most important thing, okay, I'm almost done. Most important thing, you want to have feedback for your clients. So many people say, oh, the last real estate agent I had, they never called me. They never told me what was going on, blah, 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 blah. Every Monday, you're going to send them how many hits you got on Zillow. Here's the link to the Zillow link. How many hits you got on homes.com. How many hits on Redfin? How many hits on your custom website? How many YouTube views? 11,000 or whatever it is that you got. Okay. Facebook and Instagram ads, how many views you got. Okay. How many requests to show, how many showings you did, how many open houses you did, how many people went through. You want to share details because this is going to come in super handy if, God forbid, the house is not selling, then we know we have a price issue. They're not going to come back to you and say, well, what, you haven't done anything to market our home. Are you, and then they start asking you questions. Oh, did you do this? Did you send out flyers? You skipping all of that because you're providing this to them up front. Okay. If you have a client telling you what's going on, you've lost. It's over. Don't ever let a client of yours ask you what's going on. You tell them what's going on before they even think about it. So you want to provide this to them. And then when it's time for a price reduction, you can say, look, this is everything that we've done. If you have to do a price reduction, you have all the ammo here, and they're more likely than not going to go along with it. But it's just even without price reductions, this is just a level of service that you're providing far beyond what anyone else offers, and communicating with your client constantly. Okay.
We have time for a quick
Again,
question.
yeah, sure.
Hi.
Christine?
What do you think, question, what do you think of list track with the MLS? You get it from the MLS, it's $100 a year.
Yeah, list track is really cool. I just try to keep my budget down. So if I can like put stuff together quickly myself, with ChatGPT and Gemini, I just like to do it myself. Because like I can have this all update with Gemini and just have it pull from each one how many views I got, blah, 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 blah. And
Should
then
have a
just run it
class
every
on
week.
that.
Yeah. So,
We'll
but yeah,
bring them
list
back
track
for
is
part
cool.
2.
Yeah, list track is very cool. You're then going to walk after you do a number of listings like this, you're going to add this to your listing presentation when you go into for another client. And here's all my YouTube videos. This is just one, but you're going to show like, your top 5. This video got 15,000 views. What did this? Look at this guy's video. This guy didn't even make one. This one got 15,000 views. This one got 30,000 views, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. Let me just go back. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. No. No, that's it. Yep, and that's it.
With time to spare for questions.
With 6 minutes to go. Oh, so here's the QR code. QR code. This has my entire slide deck with the checklist. Of course, customize it to your liking, and it also has links to Mailbox Power if you want to use that. Listings to leads. 21-day free trial for that. Homes.com, and then of course, if you want to meet up with, get on a call with me, my number's right there, and there's also a Calendly link on there if you want to reach out to me and set up a one-on-one call to just like dive, to get into the weeds with some of this stuff if you want to.
I love it. I will make sure that link goes out when we send the replay to everyone. Also, we'll first post the replay in school. So if you want to join the school community, I just dropped it again. Next week, we are bringing on Kendall Bonner, author, real estate leader. She's run real estate teams before. She's been in corporate real estate positions. She's going to be talking about the motivated mover method, how to identify people in your sphere of influence who are actually motivated to make a move. So that should be an interesting call. We invite you to join, but we do still have a few questions, a few minutes left
Sure.
for questions. Does anyone have any questions about the speed part of Anthony's presentation that we flew through?
Sorry, I was like rushing. I didn't want to like run out of time.
Miss anything? I get it. Jill?
How do you compile the list of all the data for like what do you use a spreadsheet? How do you compile that to send out to your clients?
So I use the program called Remind, but you can use other programs such as Mojo, Vulcan 7, My
No,
Plus
no. I
Leads.
mean, no. I mean the data that you're compiling for your clients, the
Oh,
YouTube views and whatnot. Like how are you sending that to them? Do you
so
have
yeah,
a
so I'll just
spreadsheet or?
copy paste it and put it in an email with all the links to all of the listings.
And you do that once a week?
On Mondays, yeah, on Mondays, first thing for my listings. I send that out. And then, of course, another thing you could do just to maximize your time is to do a video version of that, or you can do both, or you can do both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Christine?
Hey, Anthony. Hey, great. It was a great class today. Great
Oh,
Zoom
thank you,
class.
Christine.
Yeah, I want to ask you, I'm in listing leads. And I was just wondering, do you ever do, I mean, they have the booklet. Do you like mail out the booklet or just drop it off sometimes? Or do you do these letters, with this one, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
With
do all of
do you
that.
use the trash sheet or no?
Yeah, yeah, I do that, but that's for the prospecting part. So everything I went over today is what you do once you actually have the listing. But yeah, they have those things for just like door knocking and prospecting as well,
Right. But
which is also part of door knocking before your open house.
what do you recommend? Do you recommend, do you drop them off like on their doorknob if they're not home, or can you give me any,
Yeah, so I either fold them up and stick them in the door because you're not supposed to put them in a mailbox here in New York.
on the
Or I
doorknob? I
think
put in a
anywhere
little
you can't put them
bag.
in a mailbox. Or you
No,
can
I
put them in
put
a clear plastic bag and hang it
a
on their
little bag,
doorknob.
yeah, a little bag with the booklet.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can get like a magnet with like sports schedules from Magnets USA. I have that in my in my sheet as well, in the QR code.
And you do the letters too, or you mail the letters or no? To like
No, because
expired.
I personally hand them off. Yeah, but that's for lead generation. Yeah, I can do another thing on the lead
Okay,
generation. So
I'd
yeah.
love if you did. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Margula?
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Margola, how are you?
I love listening to you. I can listen to you all day. I
I
just
love
have
you too.
thank you. One quick question. Which is the most effective communication with your sellers that you said you do every Monday? Is it email, text, or is it video?
Yeah, so typically when I meet with a seller and I'm at the actual listing appointment, once they sign the listing agreement, I then ask them, what is your preferred method of communication? Because I don't want to be sending emails to people that never check their email and, sending texts to people that never check their text. So I ask them personally for each listing how they prefer to be communicated with. And then I follow that.
But what do you find is the most effective? Do you find video is more effective?
Yeah, I mean, I think video is the most effective. If you're going to be doing text messages, video texts, and that's for anything, whether it's listings, lead gen, anything. People like video, especially with this AI, all this AI going on, and I like AI, but I think also it's getting to a point now where like people don't know what's real. People just, it looks canned, like people are sending like, oh, I'm a luxury agent now because they just do ChatGPT prompt and every letter is all in gold. It's ridiculous to me. Sorry.
Okay,
That's
thank you
New
so much.
Yorker truth.
Sorry. My,
Yeah,
yeah, my
we
New
love
York
the
would say that.
honesty.
Yeah.
Anthony, I'm
I,
gonna
I
thank.
actually
Oh, God, sorry.
I
I'll
was
take
I
it.
was just gonna say I agree about the videos. Like when I get a video text from someone, I'm gonna listen to it. There are definitely other texts that I get that like they may or may not be AI, I don't know, but sometimes I'm just too busy to spend time with it. What were you gonna say, Christine?
Has anybody here made their AI twin yet?
I've tried and I like got really caught up in the process. It didn't look quite right, and I just kind of was like, this is not all it's cracked up to be, but I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong. And I'm like, do I really want to duplicate myself like that, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Jen looks really cool.
Yeah, there are
Higgs
ways
field.
that you
Higgs
can
field.
make it pretty impressive. But I don't know that like these like free versions do it very well.
Yeah.
Well, we've reached the we reached the end of the call. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your participation. You sticking with us through the hour to learn from Anthony. This was really awesome, Anthony. So much valuable information here. I hope everyone
Thank
accesses
you.
that link he shares, revisits these slides, watches the replay, share this with your colleagues and your team members. This is so valuable for people to learn from other agents on, how to be successful in their market and how to really do the most that they can for their clients. So thank you again. We appreciate you. If anyone has
Thank you.
questions, where do they reach you, Anthony? Is it on that link you shared?
Yeah, I'll just I'll reshare it real quick. Boom. Yeah, there's my phone number, Instagram, Anthony LaBella RE is in real estate. YouTube is the same, Anthony LaBella RE. And
Perfect.
there's my cell if you want to just text me.
Awesome. All right. Go promote those listings, y'all. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank
Take care,
you.
Have a
guys.
great weekend.